The tool we have chosen to focus on is the Wabash Sampling Blitz. The Wabash Sampling Blitz is a sampling event that occurs in the Great Bend region of the Wabash River watershed. This has been going on every spring and fall since the fall of 2009, and in the spring of 2011 it grew to include Wildcat Creek and its tributaries. For the sampling blitz, 250 volunteers gather to record data on water temperature, turbidity, nutrient levels, and pathogen concentrations. Volunteers will also take photographs and record observations at their field sites. The Wabash Sampling Blitz is put on by the Wabash River Enhancement Corporation, which was formed in 2004. The mission of the Wabash River Enhancement Corporation is to enhance quality of life in the Wabash River corridor by creating sustainable opportunities to improve health, recreation, education, economic development, and environmental management. The Wabash Sampling Blitz and other programs through the Wabash River Enhancement Corporation are funded by grants. Another program that is similar to the Wabash Sampling Blitz are the Eco Blitzes that occur in the Morgan Monroe and Yellowwood State Forest. These are put on by the Indiana Forest Alliance, partnered with the Hoosier Environmental Council. These Eco Blitzes are a comprehensive survey of all of the plants and animals in certain tracts of the Morgan Monroe and Yellowwood State Forest. These surveys are the first comprehensive surveys that were ever occurred in Indiana's state or national forests, and these surveys also occur annually.
The Wabash Sampling Blitz is composed primarily of volunteers. They are a wide range of volunteers, and because of the connections with Purdue it has, they're mostly students or aspiring biologists, but there can also be local residents, plain old citizens, partaking in this blitz. This study design can use these everyday citizens because the data collected is very simple and it's easy to do. There is a short training period before the blitz that volunteers must undergo, and that is run by the WERC, the Wabash River Enhancement Corporation. This corporation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which basically means they are income tax exempt because of the scientific operations that they do. The idea for this started from the citizens as a part of visioning process that aimed in part to improve the water quality of the Wabash River. And from partnerships early on with Tippecanoe County, West Lafayette, and Purdue University, this idea grew into this corporation. The mission statement of the WREC is as follows: to enhance the quality of life within the Wabash River corridor by providing sustainable opportunities to improve health, recreation, education, economic development, and environmental management. As you can see, this mission statement is much broader than simply sampling the Wabash River, but for our purposes we'll be focusing on the sample blitz. With the data collected from these volunteers in the blitz, there are three main goals to synthesize this data. The first being to determine where to focus cleanup efforts of the rivers. Second is compare new data with previous data in the same spots to recognize trends happening in water quality. And the third is to educate public and local decision makers about the state of our water quality. This third goal is particularly important, especially to planning and habitat management. However, Alexis will talk about this later on in the video. However, the tool behind this sample blitz is this idea of citizen science. And citizen science works best when there is a lot of data that needs to be collected, but this data is easy to collect or to train people how to collect it. The science conducted from citizen science ranges from species collection from the Indiana Forest Alliance's Eco Blitz that Lindsay mentioned, tracking dolphin movements run by the University of Maryland, or invasive python removal in the Everglades of Florida run by the South Florida Water Management District. As you can see, there's a citizen science is widely applicable. It's cheap to do because it's mostly volunteers, and it can be used in a lot of situations.
The Wabash River Enhancement Corporation developed the Sampling Blitz to monitor local water quality through citizen science. This strategy allows the WREC to collect a large amount of data in a short time span. Participants make valuable contributions to science whilst enjoying nature and learning about their local ecosystem. Projects like the Sampling Blitz aid planners by getting the public excited about ecological sciences. Garnering public approval helps streamline the planning process. Data gathered from the Blitz can educate farmers on the impacts of over-fertilizing on local water quality. The Blitz gathers important data for species especially sensitive to water quality like the eastern hellbender. Hellbenders require large amounts of planning to form conservation and management strategies. A 2011 study in the Journal of Herpetology considered poor water quality a primary factor in hellbender population decline. Projects like the Wabash Sampling Blitz gather important data for habitat management plans while educating the public about species of interest like the eastern hellbender. As citizen science efforts continue to increase worldwide, speculation on their value has also risen. A 2016 study by the Citizen Science Association examined the Wabash Sampling Blitz's overall effectiveness and applicability of data collected. Results indicated the water samples were highly applicable to lab results. Hierarchical cluster analysis was particularly noted to be beneficial for gathering volunteer-collected data into meaningful management clusters that could help to identify water quality priorities across the watershed as proof of concept for watershed managers. The Wabash Sampling Blitz provides a motive for citizens to play a direct role in ecological research that creates real-world impact on species of interest and public health.
With every plan, the negative aspects or the risks involved should be addressed. With the Wabash Sampling Blitz, there are three. The first one is the idea of disturbing the wildlife. With all of the volunteers out there, there could be an issue of erosion being caused by the heavy foot traffic or some of the natural habitats of the wildlife there being disturbed. It would be important to let the volunteers know then to be careful when they're taking their samples. The second is the idea that the people collecting the samples and recording the data are volunteers and may not have formal training within the natural resource field. It would be important to let them know how to properly collect samples in order that the data may not be skewed. The third idea is that these events are all very dependent on volunteer turnout, so it's important to let everybody know that these are happening. If your event is going on and there's no volunteers there, then there will be no data to be collected and nothing can be sampled. The Wabash Sampling Blitz doesn't have this much of an issue because there's always lots of people to turn out for volunteering. But with some other smaller type of blitz or sampling projects, this could be more of an issue. These three risks that are involved with the program or the plan should be addressed properly, and if they are, the plan can run much smoother.
Involving your community in citizen science can have many social implications. It gets the public outdoors, increases environmental awareness, and in general encourages people to care more about the resources around them when they are directly involved in sampling them. As Dr. Sarah Church says in her spring 2018 publication in the Journal of Environmental Planning and Management, participation may contribute to their good feelings about the Wabash River and their responsibility as community members to protect it. In addition to such place-specific motivation, participants gain first-hand understanding of how to collect and measure data and can see how water quality changes season by season and year to year. Encouraging a positive attitude towards local natural resources through something like the Wabash Sampling Blitz or an Eco Blitz can encourage your community to become more involved in future projects or educational events. It can also encourage more environmentally friendly behavior when the community becomes invested in their local natural resources. Finally, citizen science can help get the public outdoors, which is great for their mental and physical well-being. So beyond the benefits that citizen science provides to research projects and the environment, it can also provide benefits to the volunteers themselves.